Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to my channel. In my more than 15 years of working with older adults, I've realized something: there are certain topics we often hesitate to share, even with our spouse or our doctor. Just recently, a wonderful couple I know, we'll call them John and Helen, came to see me. John, who is 72, looked quite troubled. He shared, "Dr. Rose, I love my wife dearly, but lately I feel this pressure. My body isn't what it used to be, and I'm afraid of disappointing her. So I've started to pull away." Helen, sitting beside him, gently took his hand and added, "I don't need him to be the man he was in his 30s. I just need closeness, affection. It's his silence and avoidance that truly saddens me." John and Helen's story is not uncommon. I've heard similar concerns from so many people. That's why today I want us to talk openly and hopefully about a very important subject: intimacy after 60. And I'm going to explain why, for so many people, this experience can be even more fulfilling and wonderful than it was in our 30s. I'm Dr. Rose Khavari, a urologist specializing in functional health and men's health at the University of Texas. My work isn't just about treating medical conditions, it's about listening and helping people reclaim their quality of life at every age. Our topic today might make some of us feel a little shy, but please trust me, it's an essential part of a healthy and happy life. We won't be using complex medical terms or graphic descriptions. Instead, we're going to talk about emotion connection and the positive changes that age can bring to our intimate lives. Let's begin. The changes in body and mind. A new chapter, not the end. First, let's be honest, our bodies at 60, 70, or 80 are certainly different from when we were 30. That's a fact. And let's be clear, acknowledging these changes isn't about being negative. It's about being realistic and kind to ourselves. It can be frustrating, even a little bit scary, when your body doesn't respond the way you remember. So let's talk about what's really happening without any sugarcoating, but with a lot of understanding. For men, that gradual decrease in testosterone is something many of you might notice. It's not like a switch that flips off overnight. It's more like a slow, gentle turning down of a dial over many years. This can mean that the spontaneous arousal you experienced in your younger years now requires more time and more direct intention. It's a shift from autopilot to hands-on, and that is not a bad thing. It simply asks for more patience. And yes, erections might be less firm or take longer. This can be a source of great anxiety because society has unfairly taught men that this is the ultimate measure of masculinity. It can create a deep-seated fear of failure that makes a man want to avoid intimacy altogether, just like my patient John. But I am here to tell you as a doctor that this is a normal physiological change, not a personal failure. For women, the journey through menopause marks a significant hormonal shift. The drop in estrogen doesn't just affect hot flashes, it has a direct impact on our body's intimate tissues. It can lead to what we call vaginal atrophy, which sounds like a very harsh term. What it really means is that the tissues can become thinner, less elastic, and drier. This can turn what was once pleasurable into a source of discomfort. This is incredibly common, but so many women suffer in silence, thinking it's something they just have to endure. But here is the wonderfully simple truth. This is one of the most solvable problems in senior intimacy. Moisturizers and high-quality lubricants are not a crutch. They are your best friend. Think of it like using lotion on dry hands. It's a normal, healthy part of taking care of your body so it can feel good. But the changes aren't just hormonal. Let's talk about 3 other very real factors: energy aches and medications. First, energy. Let's face it. Most of us don't have the boundless energy we did at 35. You might have an energy budget now. This means intimacy might not be a spontaneous thing at 11 p.m. And that is perfectly okay. It invites you to plan for it. It turns intimacy from an afterthought into a deliberate, cherished event. Second, our joints and muscles. Arthritis, a stiff back, a sore hip. These are the realities of a life well lived. This doesn't mean you have to give up. It means you get to be creative. It's about finding what works for your bodies today, not what worked a decade ago. And third, something we must talk about: medications. Many of us are on medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, depression, or diabetes. These medicines are essential, but they can have side effects that impact desire and function. The most important thing is not to suffer in silence. Talk to your doctor. A simple sentence like, "I've noticed some changes in this area of my life since I started this new medication," can open the door. When we put all these changes together, it can sound like a long list of challenges. I see it differently. I see it as the body asking us to pay attention in a new way. Imagine your body as a map. The map of your 30s was a straight highway. You could go fast focus on the destination and maybe you didn't notice the scenery, but the map at 60 is a beautiful scenic coastal route. You can't speed, you have to slow down. But because you're moving slower, you notice things you never saw before: the light, the smells, the intricate details. You're not just trying to enjoying the journey itself. This is the very first door that opens to a deeper experience. Intimacy is no longer just a physical act. It becomes a dialogue between two bodies and two souls. Getting it right, debunking common myths. Now let's clear up some common myths. These are ideas that can silently steal our joy and confidence. Myth number 1: intimacy is only for young people. This is perhaps the most pervasive myth of all because we hear it everywhere. We see it in movies and advertising, this idea that passion and romance belong exclusively to the young. It's a story we've been told so many times that we can start to believe it's true. But I want you to see it for what it is: a story, not a fact. The need for closeness and physical intimacy is a fundamental human need. It's woven into our DNA. In fact, numerous studies show that staying intimate has profound health benefits. It can lower blood pressure, boost our immune system, and is one of the most powerful antidepressants available. So please don't let a false story from society dictate the final chapters of your own beautiful love story. Myth number 2: sex must equal intercourse. For much of our lives, we were taught to see intimacy like a ladder with intercourse at the very top rung. This creates immense pressure and can lead to a feeling of failure if that final step isn't reached. At 60, we have the wisdom to throw away the ladder and instead explore a wide-open field of connection. It's time to broaden our definition. Intimacy can be a slow, deliberate massage. It can be sharing a warm bath. It can be reading a book aloud to one another. It's about rediscovering all of your senses. When we let go of the pressure to perform, we discover hundreds of different ways to connect. We shift the focus from a single destination to the entire beautiful journey. Myth number 3: low desire is inevitable and can't be changed. Many people resign themselves to this idea thinking it's just a natural part of getting older. But desire is far more complex than that. Yes, desire can change, but it's not a life sentence written in stone. It is often a symptom, not the root problem. It can be a symptom of a medication side effect, a hormonal imbalance, or untreated pain. But very often it's also a symptom of things happening in the relationship itself, unspoken resentments, or a feeling of being taken for granted. The good news is, these are all things we can work on. Seeing desire not as a fixed trait but as a garden that needs tending can reopen doors you thought were locked forever. Myth number 4: if I have a health condition, my sex life is over. This fear, especially after a heart attack or stroke, is incredibly powerful. The worry is that intimacy could be dangerous. But in most cases, this fear is far greater than the actual risk. If your doctor has cleared you for moderate exercise like a brisk walk, then the physical exertion of intimacy is generally considered safe. The conversation with your doctor isn't about getting permission. It's about making a plan. It's about asking, how can we do this safely? Your doctor isn't a gatekeeper. They are your partner in helping you live life as fully and safely as possible. So why is it better? The priceless gifts of age. So this brings us to the heart of our conversation. Why do I say that intimacy after 60 can often be better? Because we possess gifts that are simply not available to our younger selves. 1. The gift of emotional maturity and self-confidence. Remember being 30. The worries about career, kids, and our bodies. We were often our own harshest critics. Now you have navigated decades of life. You've earned your wisdom. You're no longer trying to live up to impossible standards. You can finally be who you are. This self-confidence is quiet, it's deep, and it is incredibly sexy because it's authentic. 2. The gift of deeper communication. When we were young, we played guessing games. We were afraid to be honest for fear of creating an awkward moment. Now, after decades together, honesty is an act of love. You can say, "Honey, could we try this instead?" That isn't a rejection. It's an invitation to find comfort together. The guessing games are over. This isn't just talking. This is the sound of trust. 3. The gift of time and space. Life in our 30s was beautiful chaos. Intimacy was often squeezed in, rushed another item on a to-do list. Now for many of us that season has passed. The frantic pace is replaced by a gentler rhythm. Time is now your ally, not your enemy. You can create your own rituals. You can light candles, play music, and turn your bedroom into a sanctuary, free from the pressures of the outside world. 4. The gift of shifting from performance to pleasure. This, my friends, is the most profound gift of all. Our culture framed sex as a performance, an event with a finish line. This creates anxiety. At this stage, we have the wisdom to throw that rulebook away and focus on pleasure. Pleasure isn't just one event. It's a whole landscape of sensation and emotion. It's the warmth of skin, a back rub with no expectations, a shared laugh. Think of it this way: youth is like following a recipe. Adulthood is like being a master chef. You're no longer following a recipe, you're creating a dish together, tasting as you go. The goal isn't the finished cake, the goal is the joy of creating and savoring it together. It's a dance, not a race. In a dance, you enjoy the music and the moment. And you learn that connection is the main event. Practical first steps to rekindle your connection. Now, everything we've talked about sounds wonderful in theory, but you might be thinking, "Dr. Rose, that's great, but where do we actually start?" It feels like we're out of practice. This is a completely normal and valid feeling. So let's walk through a few gentle, practical steps you can take starting today. Step 1. Start the conversation gently. This is often the highest hurdle. The silence has gone on for so long that breaking it feels monumental. The key is to be gentle and non-accusatory. Don't start with, "Why don't we ever?" Instead, choose a quiet, neutral time, perhaps on a walk or over a cup of coffee in the morning. You could say something like, "Honey, I was listening to a health talk the other day and it made me think, I miss feeling close to you. I miss our hugs." Or, I feel like we've been so busy lately. I'd love to find a way for us to just connect again like we used to." The goal here is not to solve everything at once. The goal is simply to open the door a tiny crack and let some light in. Frame it as a shared desire for closeness, not a criticism of what's lacking. Step 2. Reintroduce non-sexual touch. Often when a couple has stopped being intimate, all physical touch can feel loaded with expectation. We need to retrain our brains and bodies to enjoy touch for its own sake. Make it a daily practice to connect physically in ways that have zero expectation of leading to anything more. Hold hands while you watch television or when you're walking. Give a real hug, not a quick pat on the back, but a hug that lasts for at least 6 seconds. That's the amount of time it takes for the bonding hormone oxytocin to be released. Touch as you pass by. A gentle hand on your partner's shoulder or back as you walk past their chair. These small acts rebuild the foundation of safety and affection. They remind both of you that touch is first and foremost about comfort and connection. Step 3. Curate your environment. Our surroundings have a huge impact on our mood. If the bedroom has become a place for watching stressful news and paying bills, it's not a very romantic space. It's time to reclaim it as a sanctuary for the two of you. Declare a tech-free zone. For at least an hour before bed, put the phones and tablets away. Tidy up. A clear space creates a clear mind. Engage the senses. Maybe it's putting on some soft music you both love from your past. Maybe it's a single candle, safely used, of course. You are sending a signal to yourselves that this space is special, and the time you spend in it together is important. Step 4. Be open to a little help. There is no shame in using tools that make things more comfortable. Just as you'd use reading glasses to see a menu more clearly, you can use simple aids to enhance your intimacy. We talked about lubricants earlier, and I want to re-emphasize this. A high-quality water-based lubricant is not an extra. It is an essential comfort item for many women after menopause. It eliminates discomfort and allows both partners to relax and focus on pleasure. And I will say it again, talk to your doctor. If you think a medication is affecting you, or if physical issues are getting in the way, a conversation with a professional is an act of taking charge of your health and happiness. You are not alone in this. So, what is the main message I want to leave you with today? First, it is normal for your body to change. See it as an opportunity to discover new ways of connecting. Second, let go of the myths. The need for love and closeness is ageless. And third, intimacy after 60 can be more fulfilling because it's built on a foundation of understanding communication time and a shift from the pressure of performance to the joy of connection. John and Helen's story has a beautiful new chapter. They started talking more. They rediscovered the joy of hugs and kisses without any pressure. The last time I saw them, John smiled and said, "We're happier than ever, doctor." I hope today's talk has brought you a sense of peace and inspiration. Age brings wisdom, and that wisdom can transform your intimate life. Don't hesitate to seek help. Don't be afraid to talk, and never ever stop loving. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel so we can continue on this health journey together. If you have any questions or thoughts you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always here to listen. Wishing you all a week filled with health and peace. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.